Hey guys, Jolly's back. Here's part 3. Hopefully this one's shorter than the other two that I just now realized are so long. I ramble. This one I'm just going to simply cover targeting. Not too difficult. I'm going to aggro all 3 of these real quick. As you can see, now your placement's going to be different than mine, but you can see I have my enemies right here. Now, I can scroll through them this way, which is just using the left or right on the D-pad. But another way, say somebody, you're in a raid, somebody marks 1, 2, and 3. This is mainly going to be for early dungeons or, you know, raid things. T12 is a good example, marking the menus. That's more for the older players that know what 12 is. Recently, Square Enix added a thing where it will tell you in the enemy list if it's marked and what it is marked as. Now, you can still use your D-pad on them, but if you hold L1 and push up or down while holding L1, you can look at your enemy list instead, and you can see what you're targeting. So, one's first. That again without targeting. One's first. I'm going to hit up twice, or hit down twice, 3 times I guess. Target it, and then kill it. And then 2's next, so I'm gonna, you know, easily switch between them by holding R1 and going up. That's just a quick enemy targeting. I had some people in my party. Ask a FC mate real quick. I don't know, I tabbed out on accident. Me. Alright, so now I'm gonna bring up, self-explanatory, real easy, but I figure it's worth going over if I'm going over everything. Party member. So, particularly if you're a healer, you're gonna use up and down. Renoa is still loading in, but you just, if you're not holding any buttons, just like you would use left and right on the D-pad to target enemies, you would use up and down to target party members. Party member placement is key. I have a little bit of latency going on because I am currently uploading part 1 of this terrible guide for controller users. But party member placement is key. I personally like to keep my tanks, as a healer, I like to keep my tanks in the number 2 and number 3 spot, because they're what I'm primarily going to be focusing on. Then healers, and then DPS. As a DPS, I keep my tanks at the bottom. DPS, it doesn't really matter, but as a ninja, I goad tanks and DPS. I keep the DPS just under my name, and I keep the tanks at the very bottom. That way when I goad, I have quick access to both. So I keep my melee and bard in top of my list for the DPS, and so on and so forth. Another quick tip is, we're going to imagine Renoa is a tank. I don't think he has a tank. But if you select somebody and then hit X, it'll hard lock. So it'll stay on them. Now if you look up here, there's not opaque, a slightly transparent window over who you have selected. If you continue to scroll while you're hard locked on somebody, you can soft lock. What that does is you can heal that person real quick, but your target stays on the tank. So Lilith stays tanking something. Nolan or Noah, I'm so sorry, Noah. This video guide is mainly for you, and I keep calling you by your name. I'm terribly sorry, but I'm not restarting. Anyway, Renoa takes a big hit from an AoE, but I'm healing the tank. So I can quickly just select Renoa, throw out a heal, and I'm automatically, without touching any other buttons, back on the tank. As long as I don't hard lock on him. I like to call it soft targeting, soft locking. So without pushing any buttons other than healing him real quick, goes right back to the tank. This works for enemies as well. Gonna dismiss them. Need them anymore. But this works for tanks as well, or enemies as well. So you're working on killing this. Somebody else is working on killing this guy right here. He's really low on health. So you just want to quickly tab over, not tab, but soft lock, get a quick skill in, but you're still targeting this guy right here. So you can also see in the enemy list, you have the same window that you had in your party list, and then you can soft target, and as soon as you use a skill, you're going to go right back to your original target. There's settings in here, I'm sure, somewhere. Yes. So, target your filter settings and your target settings. I don't believe that I changed anything on here. Yeah, I didn't really change anything. So filters, this is the important one. Enable target cycling while weapon is sheathed. This is when my weapon is away, this is what the left and right D-pad will let me target. So basically anything and everything while my weapon is away. I can target Lilith, I can target that guy, he's not even in my party. I can target any of these plants, any of these dummies while my weapon is away. Now we come back in here. While my weapon is drawn, it's only enemies. So duty specific enemies, aggro enemies, and all enemies. Just enemies in general. So take my weapon out, and if I hit left and right on the D-pad, all I'm cycling through are the enemies. Put my weapon away, and we go back to being able to target any. That goes for NPCs, signs, plants, Aethernet shards, whatever. Come back in here. I don't really do too much with any of these. I have these enabled, but I don't use these two. I keep these enabled though. Enable L1 and triangle cycling, and enable L1 and circle cycling. So if you notice, it's the same as, I have them set in, like L1 and triangle was the same as weapon is sheathed, and L1 and circle is the same as when weapon is drawn. That means is, if you follow my cursor down here by my health bar, it says all. That is what I'm allowed to target. When I take my weapon out, this is what I'm allowed to target. Now if I have my weapon out, say I'm posing for like a picture. Oh, I already had it out. Say I'm posing, or taking a picture, and they're like, target this minion or target this sun so everybody's looking in the same direction. Well, if my weapon is drawn, I can't really do that. But if I were to hold L1 and hit triangle, you see that it changes to all. So now that even though my weapon is out, I can target anything that I want. Primarily this is if you're standing around, not doing anything in a city, and you just want to, like, you see somebody, you want to check out their gear real quick, quickly just jump over there, look at their gear. While your weapon is out, you don't have to take your weapon, or put your weapon away or anything like that. I don't really use the enemy one when my weapon is out, because if I'm fighting enemies, then I'm automatically gonna have my weapon drawn to fight things. Trying to see if there's anything else that I forgot. Can't really. Okay, that was another thing. I don't use this, but a lot of people swear by it. If you hold R1 and you hit the right trigger, so R2, you can cycle between enemies, or if you hold L1 and then hit L2, you can cycle, and it also works with L1 and the right trigger, or R1 and the left trigger. I personally don't use it. Some people find it very, very helpful. So if you find it helpful, kudos to you and more props. I'm not saying it's bad, it's just, I never got used to it. I figured out how to properly, or not properly isn't the word, I've just figured out how to use the left and right D-pad for targeting anytime I ever need. So that's it for this video. So hope you enjoyed part 3 of this awful guide to controller use. And next time we'll talk about more things on how to use a controller that I don't know yet. We'll find out. Oh! One more thing. I suppose it does go in with targeting. I'm a huge there's a lot of threads on Reddit, or a lot of threads anywhere, that will swear off the auto lock feature, which is this. It'll automatically lock on your target when you push left and right on your joystick. It'll automatically follow that target no matter where you go. I really love it when I play a melee class. It really helps when I'm going to and from wherever I need to go to do whatever I need. I find it invaluable. But that's just me. Some people hate it. But if you put it on a button, like I have mine on L3, which is pushing my left stick in, if there's an AoE I need to dodge real quick, I just click it real quick, run back, and then, well, I didn't make it there with that. Just go right back to it. It does change the way your camera moves. Like, if I hold all the way to the right, it only goes this far, so on and so forth. So if I'm not going to be moving anytime soon from a particular spot, I'll let it go to check my surroundings. That's mainly only when I play Ninja, because they have one positional really that they have to get off. But if you're good, you can get into place, let go of it, you know, look around, and when you need to move again, so on and so forth. I'm gonna have to put a note in the video that says, don't leave when I say I'm done if you're still watching this video, so that hopefully people get that. Personally, it's one of my favorite things in the entire world. So, this is the real goodbye.